Hello everyone. So today I'm going to start another video. This is reproduction in human being. It is a part of how do organisms reproduce. We have studied how do organisms reproduce. First is asexual reproduction, then sexual reproduction in plants, then sexual reproduction in human being, and the fourth point will be there where we will be studying about the reproductive health, where we will be discussing about the various parts of the health point of view and population control. Okay, in this video we will be concentrating only in the reproduction in human being. And we know that human beings are sexually reproducing organisms. It is quite clear right from our childhood we are studying. And for the sexual reproduction, two individuals are there, male and female, and they are producing male gamete and female gamete, and these gametes are fusing together forming zygote, and zygote giving rise a baby. But one must understand, even sexually reproducing organism like human beings also show a sexual reproduction. How? So there are two ways. One is common, natural, and another one is artificial. First we'll discuss about the natural one. Suppose a sperm and the egg fertilized, and that form is zygote. Sperm and the egg fertilized and they form a zygote. Zygote started dividing into 2 cells, then the 4 cells, then the 8 cells, 16 cells. These are only a collection of cells. Due to some reason or other, this part of the zygote divides into 2 parts. Then each of them will be able to develop into one baby. And these 2 babies will have same genetic makeup because they are divided from one single zygote. Since they are fragmented from the zygote, in which the cells are undifferentiated, so they will develop into exactly similar type of babies, which will be known as clone to one another. Cloning is a unique feature of only a sexually reproducing organism. Sexually reproducing organisms cannot show clones. So if the clones are there, that means they are asexually reproduced. First zygotes which were formed, that was sexually produced. But the zygote is divided into 2, and now these 2 babies are cloned to one another. Okay, so this is a little technical, but one must understand. Okay, and secondly, if you have heard of dolly sheep, that was an experiment conducted on a sheep in which the 2N cell, that the diploid cell of one sheep's udder, that is the breast, has taken, and that cell has been implanted into uterus. So there was no fertilization, there was no sperm, no egg utilized, but only a 2N cell, diploid cell from the body itself is taken, and that is implanted into zygote, into uterus, and that has developed into a baby. So it was genetically similar to its mother, and since there was no fusion involved, genetically similar, clone, all these technical terms are actually part of asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction can be shown by human being, but that type of experiment, artificial cloning, is not allowed in human beings. Technically or morally it is not allowed. None of the country is allowing it. Okay, so this is another thing which we must remember. The life of sexually reproducing organisms completes in 3 phases. First is juvenile, second is adulthood, and third is old age. Juvenile is a phase in which the individual is child, which is commonly known as childhood, when he or she is unable to reproduce. Okay, the body is not having those many features which are required for sexual reproduction. Then adulthood is then when the person matures and the gametes start forming and the uterus is strong enough to develop a baby. And old age is the one in which the reproductive capacity is being lost. In human being, juvenile phase is a phase between 0 to 15 years. It is not technically, but it is understood. That is, after 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14 years, the menstrual cycle begins, uterus is developed, and one can undergo reproduction, which is not legally allowed, but capacity is being developed. The reproductive age when he or she is able to carry out reproduction, it's range between 15 to 45 or 50 years, depending till when the female is capable of carrying out menstrual cycle. Okay, so that will be dependent. Now that further depends from body to body. Some may have menopause at the age that is the last menstrual cycle somewhere about at the 45 years, say 46, 48, 50. Some may even go up to 55. It depends person to person, but we on average call it this. I'll again stress is here that 15 is not the age of reproduction. Capacity is developed, but the girl is not yet fully developed to carry out reproduction. Okay, so government of India has made it legally that till 18 one cannot undergo marriage, और जब तक मैरिज नहीं होगी सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन का तो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है लीगली तो. Okay, illegally तो कुछ भी हो सकता है. So we have some cases of the rape and all where the child is given birth as early at the age of 12 years. So that is what the thing is. Now also we must remember that these are the body signs which take place, which can be seen in the body. That doesn't mean that the person is reproductively capable. Again and again I'm stressing on the same thing. किसी गर्ल की बॉडी के अंदर आपको ऐसे चेंज देखने को मिल गया, मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल आ गए, ब्रेस्ट डेवलप हो गए, कुछ और चेंजेस हो गए, तो वन कैन नॉट से दैट नाउ शी इज़ रेडी. देखिए अभी तो क्या हो गया, नाउ इन दिस प्रेजेंट टाइम वी हैव everyone has got their birth record, everyone knows about the age and all, but in olden times there were no calendar, or even the calendar was there, so it was not in the reach of everyone. So people generally didn't remember even what is the age when the child was born, how old or how what is the age of that person. So that time they used to consider only these bodily features for their reproductive age and all. Now we have very, very well understood the processes, and now we very well know that what is the right age. So government of India made it that girls 18 years, boys 21 years, which is soon going to be revised, and after within few years it will be made 21 for both male and female. Okay, there are several reasons for that, and one of the biggest reason is population increase. After the age of 50, 45 to 50, the woman stops the menstrual cycle. So when the menstruation stops, menstrual cycle stops, the ovulation will stop. Then she will not be able to carry out reproduction. The next is the male and female are separate entities. We, unlike in plants, in most of the plants we have seen that the male and female organs are found in the same plant. That is the anther and not anther, the stamen and pistil both were found in the same plant. But in human beings, the male and female are different entity. We do not have bisexual, that is one body both having both the organs. Okay, so that is the thing. And on maturity there is some clear sign which can be seen on the body. What are the signs? They are called secondary sexual changes or secondary sexual characters. What are the things? Like facial hair on the face, that is the beard and mustaches, will be appeared on the males, not in females. Hair on chest in males, not in female. Adam's apple only in male, not in female. Voice low pitch in male, cracked voice. High pitch voice just like child in female. Breast remain underdeveloped or rudimentary in males but develop in female for nourishing the young one. Overall body structure, male will have masculine body, hard, tough, strong, whereas the female will have feminine body, soft, gentle. Menstrual cycle will not be shown by the males but will be shown by the females. So these are some of the signs by which we can recognize the person is attained the sexual maturity. Now let us study about the male reproductive system. So the male and the female, as we have already studied, are separate entities. So they will have something different. So what are the differences? Like male reproductive system. The male reproductive system, okay, will be having three important parts. That is, the first is primary sex organ. Primary sex organ is the organ which is responsible for production of gamete. And gamete, as we already studied in the reproduction in plants, gametes are the sex cells which are having one set of chromosome. Gametes are the sex cells which are having one set of chromosomes, and they are produced by meiosis. One must remember what are gametes. Gametes are those sex cells which are having one set of chromosomes and they are produced by meiosis. So the organ which is producing gamete is called primary sex organ. Primary sex organ in male is testes. So these are the testes, one this side and one other side. This is the lateral view. So this, and the testes are found in the muscular pouch that is called scrotum. Okay, testes is actually responsible production of gametes as well as reproductive hormone called testosterone. So there are two functions. They are producing gametes, that is male gamete, that is sperms, and the male reproductive hormone, that is testosterone, also known as androgens. Okay, testes are located outside the abdomen. The testes are not found inside the body. They are found outside, hanging outside. This is necessary in order to keep its body temperature 2 to 3 degrees lower than the body temperature, which is most suitable for the production of sperms. Okay, not for the ladies. Female के केस में ऐसा नहीं है. Female, the ovaries are found inside the abdomen only. In female, the ovum will produce well inside the abdomen, but in male, the sperms require little higher temperature. Okay, and that is why they are found outside the abdomen. Okay, the male reproductive system. The next thing is that is vas deferens. So from each testis, you can see one tube is ascending upward. This red color one. This is ascending upward and taking a U-turn over the urinary bladder. Okay, this is called vas deferens. So emerges from each testis which enters into the abdomen and take a U-turn over the prostate, U-turn over the urinary bladder and open into prostate. यहाँ से आई and it opens into prostate here. Okay, there are 3 glands found in it. कौन सी glands हैं? पहला है seminal vesicle. These are seminal vesicle, one in either side, one from left and one from right side. They are leaf-shaped cells and which are required for production of a medium fluid, and this fluid medium is necessary for the movement of the sperm. It is also having fructose, which is for the nourishment of the sperms. It is also having some enzymes, some vitamins and some minerals which are required for activation of the sperm for the movement of the sperm. Okay. Next gland is prostate. Prostate, okay, where both the vas differences come together here. Left side and right side दोनों वाली आकर के यहाँ खुल जाएगी. Even the urinary bladder also opens somewhere there. So these are prostate. Prostate is a golf ball size this gland, and this is also producing the fluid medium for the movement of the sperm, for nourishment of the sperm, and for keeping the pH maintenance of the female reproductive tract and others. So these are actually somehow supportive things for the sperm. Remember, the testis is only producing sperms and rest everything is actually done by these glands. ठीक है, तो ये नरिशमेंट करेंगे, फ्रक्टोज बनाएंगे, शुगर है, ये सारी बातें हो गई. नेक्स्ट है तीसरी वाली ग्लैंड, दैट इज नोन एज काउपर्स ग्लैंड. So here is the Cowper's gland, this one. Okay, single. So Cowper's gland is found at the just other end of the urethra, and ये यहाँ से आकर के urethra में खुल रहे हैं. Cowper's gland secretes some slimy substance which will provide slimy or what you call slippery substance fluid, which is actually required for the reducing friction during the course of mating. Okay, so this is lubricating fluid which is required to reduce the friction. Okay, next is urethra or penis. So this is the external part of the male reproductive system. Remember, the urethra is the same organ which is functioning 2 ways. That is, most of the time it is used for the discarding urine, and at the time of reproduction insemination is done by that is the semen is also discharged through it. It is a common opening for urinary and reproductive system. The penis is erectile. Most of the time it remains flaccid, but when the time of reproduction, at the time of copulation, at the time of mating, it becomes erect, it becomes stressed, and it becomes straight. Okay, and then it can enter into the female reproductive system and discharge the semen there. Female reproductive system, male का हो गया. Male system is very simple, female is all the more simple. So the female reproductive system, the vagina, uterus, cervix, and these are fallopian tube, and these are ovaries. Okay, let us study. First is ovary, the primary sex organ. Primary sex organ, as just dealt in case of male reproductive system, are the one which produce gamete. The ovaries are the one which is producing female gamete, that is ova, and it is also producing the female reproductive hormones. Two hormones are there, the progesterone and estrogen. Okay, next is it produces ovum by meiosis. Okay, that तो अपन ने function पढ़ा ही है. And it also secretes female reproductive hormone, that is estrogen and progesterone. ओविडक्ट है इसके ऊपर, ये देखिए ओविडक्ट. ओविडक्ट का ये वाला हिस्सा जो है खुला हुआ है, दिस एंड इज ओपन एंड दिस इज हैविंग ए फिम्ब्रिकेटेड ओपनिंग, है ना, एक झालर जैसा, तो विच रिसीव्स द ओवम एज सून एज ओव्यूलेशन टेक प्लेस. As soon as ovulation take place, it receives ovum, and the ovum will move from here and enter in the uterus. Okay, so देखते हैं uterus. It is a centrally located inverted pear shaped organ. पेयर मतलब नाशपति. नाशपति को अगर आप उल्टा रख देंगे तो ऊपर से चौड़ा, नीचे से नैरो होता है. दिस इज ऑल्सो ब्रॉडर ऑन द अपर एंड एंड द नैरो एट द लोअर एंड. ठीक है. इट इज अ मस्कुलर ऑर्गन, हाईली मस्कुलर ऑर्गन. सो नॉर्मल केस के अंदर ये मुट्ठी से भी छोटा है. ठीक है. एंड जब बेबी इसके अंदर डेवलप होगा तो इट विल एक्सपैंड. ठीक है, टू अकोमोडेट द होल बेबी इन इट. ठीक है. तो इट इज अ मस्कुलर इन्वर्टेड पेयर शेप ऑर्गन. नीचे की तरफ एक नैरो ओपनिंग से ये वेजाइना में खुल जाएगा, तो दैट नैरो ओपनिंग इज कॉल्ड सर्विक्स. Cervix, it is the narrow opening of the uterus at the lower end, and then vagina is a flexible tube, highly flexible muscular tube, and which is a very long tube. Okay, so from here till the vaginal opening, it is there, and it is actually receiving sperms at the time of insemination. And remember, the child is also born from this duct. Okay, so uterus through cervix through vagina, and that is why it is also known as the birth canal. Okay, during insemination it receives semen, and the child is also born through it. Okay, now next is menstrual cycle. In the life of a girl, there is some cyclic changes starts from the age of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, depends from person to person. ठीक है, जो भी है, ये फेज होता है, इट जनरली रिमेन फॉर 28 days. अगेन बॉडी केमिस्ट्री डिफर्स. सो किसी में ये 25 दिन का भी हो सकता है, किसी में ये 31 days का भी हो सकता है, किसी में 35 days का भी हो सकता है, और इवन इन सेम पर्सन it may have variable length in the different months, but by and large it is of 28 days. तो हम इसको 28 days का मान के चलेंगे. यहाँ पे 30 days का दिखा रखा है. इसमें 3 फेज देंगे, मेंस्ट्रुएशन, फॉलिकुलर फेज, ओव्यूलेशन, एंड ये ल्यूटल फेज है. ठीक है, सबसे पहले पढ़ते हैं मेंस्ट्रुअल फेज. ठीक है, तो यहाँ देखिए क्या लिखा है. मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल इट फ्रॉम द एज ऑफ 9 to 14 years until about 45 to 50 years. Every month these cyclic changes take place. Month इसलिए बोल दिया because 28 days is also nearly a month. Menarche, that is the first appearance of a menstrual cycle in a girl's life, is called menarche. ठीक है. Menopause is the last appearance, जिसके बाद वो बंद हो जाता है, उसको हम कहेंगे menopause. वो रहता है somewhere about 45 to 50 years. Okay. द चेंजेस विजिबल ड्यूरिंग द मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल, उसको हमने यहाँ पे डिवाइड कर दिया. ये चेंजेस एक्चुअली होते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द चेंजिंग इन द walls of the wall thickness of the endometrium. Endometrium क्या होता है? The uterus has 3 layers. The outermost layer is called perimetrium. That is only few layer thick. Then बीच में एक वो काफ़ी thick layer है. That is called muscular layer. That is called myometrium. Muscular layer is called myometrium. And the innermost layer जो होती है उसकी thickening बढ़ती घटती रहती है. And that is having a rich network of blood capillaries. And that is why it is called मायोमेट्रियम एंडोमेट्रियम. तो एंडोमेट्रियम की लिखा एंडोमेट्रियम वॉल की थिकनेस बढ़ती घटती रहती है. इट इज जनरली ऑफ 28 to 30 days, having following phase. First is menstruation या menstrual phase जो होता है वो that lasts for 4 to 5 days. किसी में 6 दिन भी हो सकता है, कोई डिफर वो नहीं है. क्योंकि आप ये बात मान के चलिए, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इज एवर एक्सेप्टेड इन ह्यूमन बॉडी. ठीक है, मैं अगर 50 किलो वजन उठा सकता हूँ तो ये नहीं है कि मेरे एज का हर आदमी 50 किलो का वजन उठाएगा. सब में टेक 200 kg, सब में टेक 100 kg, सब में नॉट इवन टेक 10 kg. तो ये तो डिफ़र करता है. अभी मैं अगर 3 मिनट सांस रोक कर बैठ सकता हूँ तो ये थोड़ी है कि एवरी पर्सन विल बी एबल टू, एवरी ह्यूमन बीइंग विल बी एबल हैव ए कैपेसिटी टू स्टॉप ब्रीथिंग फॉर 3 minutes. वो शायद 30 सेकेंड भी नहीं करे. तो इट डिफर्स. ठीक है. menstruation is the phase in which the old lining, endometrial lining is removed. उसकी ज़रूरत नहीं है, उसको निकाल देंगे. तो जब वो निकालते हैं तो दैट कम्स आउट थ्रू विजाइना इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ब्लड क्लॉट्स. तो दिस इज ओनली a sign. By this we come to know that actually the phase doesn't start from here. phase तो जब नई साइकिल चालू होगी तब से. लेकिन इंडिकेशन कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? तो हमने क्या मान लिया इंडिकेशन कि जब वो मतलब फ्लूइड डिस्चार्ज हो रहा है, दैट इज़ द ब्लड डिस्चार्ज हो रहा है, उस दिन को हम फर्स्ट डे मान लेंगे. तो फर्स्ट डे से लेकर के 5 or 6 days, फर्स्ट टू 6 days जो है, डिपेंड फ्रॉम पर्सन टू पर्सन, ब्लीडिंग रहती है. द ओल्ड लाइनिंग विल बी रिमूव्ड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ब्लड क्लॉट्स. दैट इज कॉल्ड मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल और मेंस्ट्रुएशन फेज. ठीक है. तो इन विच द ओल्ड लाइनिंग इज रिमूव्ड. व्हाई इट इज रिमूव्ड? बिकॉज in that cycle the ovulation did not take place, the ovum did not fertilize, and the ovum did not reach into the uterus. So uterus says, okay, forget it, now there is no embryo to receive, so let us remove it and then prepare it again from the next phase. So next phase क्या है यहाँ पे दे रखा है, that is the follicular phase. The follicular phase will start from 5th or 6th day and it will last till 12-13 days. Okay, in which the uterus wall again start becoming thicker and thicker. The endometrial lining goes on becoming thicker and thicker. Okay, this is in a way to prepare the uterus for the reception of fertilized egg. Okay, ovulation take place somewhere about the mid of the menstrual cycle. Now suppose the menstrual cycle lasts of 28 days, so it will be somewhere about 14. Now neither it is fixed कि 28 days की cycle होगी, neither it is fixed कि वो 14th day पे होगा. It can even occur at 12th day or 13th day or 15th day or 16th day. Most probable 14 माना है हमने. 14 plus minus 2 मान लीजिए, 2 दिन उस तरफ या 2 दिन इस तरफ या 14वें दिन. सो इन्हीं दिनों में मेरे ओव्यूलेशन होता है. So one of these days, one of the ovum will be released from one of the ovary. So generally it is found that if 1 month, suppose in the month of Jan, it is released from left ovary, then next month it will be from right, then further next March में वापस लेफ्ट से, फिर अप्रैल में राइट से, और एक ही अंडर. फिर मैंने कहा बॉडी केमिस्ट्री डिफर्स. There is no hard and fast rule. Sometimes both the ovaries may release one egg. Sometimes it may be possible the one ovary may release more than one egg, or sometimes it may be there that is the only one ovary is keep on producing egg, the other one is not producing. Differs. There is no hard and fast rule. कोई पक्का नहीं है. Though human being produce only one baby at a time, but there are instances when we have seen not only 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 babies, and they all are produced by the release of 2, 3, 4 or 5 ovum from the ovaries. Now which ovary release वो हमें नहीं पता, ठीक है. सो हमने ऐसा माना है, ऐसा हमारा ऑब्जर्वेशन है, स्टडीज़ है कि ऑल्टरनेट फैशन में एवरी मंथ में होता एंड वन ओवम इज रिलीज. बट इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी दैट इट विल ऑलवेज फॉलो द ऑल्टरनेशन. इट विल ऑल्सो इज नॉट नेसेसरी दैट it every month one ovum will release. Okay, next luteal phase. Once the ovary releases मतलब ova, a matured ova, उसके बाद जिस जगह से ओवम निकला है ना, वो वाला जो पोर्शन है दैट विल चेंज इनटू क्या कहते हैं कॉपस ल्यूटम. एंड वो अब यहाँ से एक हार्मोन रिलीज करेगा, उसको कहेंगे प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन. ठीक है, द प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन हार्मोन इज नेसेसरी फॉर मेंटेनेंस ऑफ pregnancy. So if the pregnancy is there, this will keep on producing progesterone. If pregnancy is not there, there is no need. Okay, the progesterone hormone is necessary for maintaining the pregnancy, so that I already described. Next is fertilization. Now suppose the ovum is released. Okay, suppose the ovum is released, then the ovum will reach, देखते हैं आगे वाला डायग्राम में. Let me take the diagram of reproductive system. Okay, so ovum, ovary, which is release ovum. So this is a broad portion, if you can see here. These broad portion are called ampulla. The ovum will be collected and wait here. Ovum will wait in the ampulla region. The sperm has to enter from here and reach up to here. ओके, तो यहाँ पे आना पड़ेगा स्पर्म्स को, उसको फर्टिलाइज करने के लिए. ओवम नहीं जाता उधर, स्पर्म को ही आना है फर्टिलाइज करने के लिए. ठीक है, सो दैट इज द इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग. द फ्यूजन ऑफ द मेल एंड फीमेल गैमेट will is called fertilization. As we have studied that ovulation occurs in the mid of the menstrual cycle and the ovum can survive at the most for 2 days. Generally एक दिन भी जिंदा नहीं रहता वो, पर फिर वही कि भाई किसी की बॉडी के अंदर वो 2 दिन भी जिंदा रह जाए कोई अंडा, तो हम मैक्सिमम 2 दिन मान करके चलते हैं, वो जिंदा रह सकता है. ठीक है, सिमिलरली इनसाइड द बॉडी द स्पर्म कैन सर्वाइव एट द मोस्ट फॉर 2 days. बाहर आकर के तो आधे घंटे में मर जाएगा. ठीक है, बल्कि उससे भी कम टाइम में. लेकिन बॉडी के अंदर हो सकता है वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 2 दिन सर्वाइव कर जाए. तो ओव्यूलेशन अगर मान लीजिए 12वें दिन हुआ है और स्पर्म मान लीजिए 10वें दिन पहुंच गया, तो 10वें दिन से वो 2 दिन जिंदा रह सकता है. 12वें दिन अंडा आया तो उसको फर्टिलाइज कर देगा. और मान लीजिए ओव्यूलेशन टू प्लेस ऑन द नॉट ऑन 14th, नॉट ऑन 15th बट 16th डे, तो 2 दिन अंडा जिंदा रहे, दैट इज 17 and 18 तक, 16 से 18 तक. और अगर स्पर्म उस टाइम आ जाए तब भी उसको फर्टिलाइज कर सकता है. सो वी सेज दैट इज a most probable time for fertilization is somewhere from the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th day. ये वो फेस है जहाँ पे कभी भी फर्टिलाइजेशन हो सकता है. ब्लाइंड फोल्ड रहना है हमको पता थोड़ी है. नो वन नोज व्हेन द ओव्यूलेशन इज टेकिंग प्लेस, नॉट इवन दैट वुमन इन विच द ओवम इज रिलीज्ड. नो वन नोज. ठीक है, तो ये कोई ऐसा कोई वो नहीं है, तो इसलिए हम कहते हैं हेंस वी कैन से दैट 10th to 18th डे जो है वो मोस्ट प्रोबेबल डेज है फर्टिलाइजेशन के. पोस्ट फर्टिलाइजेशन, सपोज द फर्टिलाइजेशन टुक प्लेस, तो अब आफ्टर दैट क्या होगा? इफ द फर्टिलाइजेशन डज नॉट टेक प्लेस, if the fertilization does not take place, this cycle will complete and the next cycle will begin. If the fertilization does not take place, the new cycle will begin with menstruation on the after 28, 29 or 30 days जो भी है. If fertilization take place, the cycle will discontinue. अब menstrual cycle बंद. कब तक बंद? जब तक कि बच्चा पैदा नहीं हो जाए. और बच्चा पैदा होने के भी बाद में वो 3, 4, 5, 6 महीने बाद में शुरू होगा. सो इफ द फर्टिलाइजेशन टेक प्लेस टिल द चाइल्ड बर्थ, देयर इज नो चांस ऑफ एनी मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल. एंड इवन आफ्टर द बर्थ 3, 4, 5 और 2, 6 months तक हो सकता है. देयर मे बी प्रोबेबिलिटी व्हेन द menstrual cycle may not appear. ठीक है, where and how fertilization occurs? So let us see. Soon after the ovulation, the ovum is collected by the fumigated opening of the fallopian tube, the broad portion. The ovum is reached here. Okay, the ovum reaches in the ampulla region and waits. यहाँ पे आके वेट कर रहा है. अभी क्या होगा? When copulation take place, the semen is discharged. Each insemination has somewhere about 200 to 300 million sperms. 200 से लेके 300 मिलियन स्पर्म्स जो निकलेंगे, मतलब 2000 लाख सेल से लेकर 3000 लाख सेल तक, मतलब स्पर्म तक निकलेंगे. इतने सारे स्पर्म्स क्यों? क्योंकि स्पर्म्स के कोई आंखें नहीं होती हैं. स्पर्म आर सेल विथ ओनली वन सेट ऑफ क्रोमोसोम, तो वो नॉर्मल सेल से भी आधा ही है और उसको दिख भी नहीं रहा है. तो वो तो इधर उधर उधर इधर उधर उधर सब डायरेक्शन में चल रहे हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ देयर टेल. Now some are going up, some are going down, some are furrowed into the walls of the uterus here and there and all, and only few will be able to reach till there. ठीक है, तो यहाँ से रवाना हुआ स्पर्म यहाँ तक आने में उनको कुछ टाइम लग जाएगा और कुछ ही पहुँच पाएंगे. And once the sperm is reached there, so they move with the help of their tail, है ना, and one of the sperm will enter into the ovary, ovum, sorry, not ovary, ovum. एक, और जैसे ही एक स्पर्म उसके अंदर घुसा, उसकी वॉल में कुछ ऐसे चेंज हो जाता है कि नो मोर स्पर्म्स कैन एंटर इन इट. तो आप इस गलत फहमी में मत रहना कि जो ट्विंस होते हैं वो इसलिए होते हैं क्योंकि 2 स्पर्म फर्टिलाइज कर देते हैं. कोई चांस ही नहीं है. एक अंडे को एक से ज़्यादा कोई स्पर्म फर्टिलाइज ही नहीं कर सकता, किसी भी हालत में नहीं कर सकता. एक स्पर्म को एक से ज़्यादा अंडे फर्टिलाइज कर ही नहीं सकते, ये आप याद रखना. ठीक है, देन क्या है? दैट इज soon after the fertilization the cleavage begin. Cleavage क्या है? That is the cell division. So the cell will start dividing into, the zygote will start dividing into 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16 cell. अब वो जो मैंने आइडेंटिकल ट्विंस वाला स्टेट बताया था वो यहीं पे कहीं पे होगा 8, 16, 32 वाले सेज के. उस टाइम कहीं किसी कारण से वो स्प्लिट होकर 2 हो जाए तो 2 बेबी हो जाएंगे, 3 हो तो 3 बेबी होंगे, 4 हो गए 4 बेबी, और 5 हुए तो 5 बेबी. एंड दे ऑल विल बी आइडेंटिकल टू वन अनदर, दे ऑल विल बी क्लोन टू वन अनदर. 99.99999% केसेस के अंदर ये नहीं हो रहा है, एक ही बच्चा पैदा होता है. ठीक है, बट 1 in 10,000, 1 in some 8,000 कभी ट्विंस भी हो जाते हैं. ठीक है, तो ये है. सो देखिए, ये अंडा है, ये यहाँ पे स्पर्म आ करके कुश्ती लड़ रहे हैं इससे. देयर आर नंबर ऑफ स्पर्म सराउंडेड इट. वन विल बी एबल टू एंटर, and it is not the entire sperm enter, but only the nucleus enters. So once the nucleus enter, now this cell has got 2 nuclei, and soon they will fertilize and form one cell zygote, which will have 2 set of chromosome, one set with egg and the other set from sperm. Now this start divided into 2, then 4, then 8, then 16. और यहाँ पे दिन भी देख लीजिए. फर्स्ट डे के अंदर आकर के न्यूक्लियस आ गया, सेकेंड डे में zygote is formed, third day 2 cells are formed, fourth day 4 cells are formed, fifth day 8 cells are formed, and sixth day 16 cells are formed. तब कहीं जाकर के वो यूट्रस में पहुंच जाता है. यूट्रस में there are fallopian tube has got number of cilia. These cilia will push it and slowly it will go and fall into the uterus. Once it falls into the uterus, it embeds there. उसमें जाकर के वो फंस जाएगा, धस जाएगा. ठीक है, एट दिस टाइम द एम्ब्रियो फॉल्स इनटू द यूट्रस. ओके, एंड इट गेट इम्प्लांटेड देयर. उसमें जाके धसने को हम कहते हैं इम्प्लांट हो जाना. इम्प्लांट होने का मतलब क्या है? द आउटरमोस्ट लेयर ऑफ दिस, जो 16 सेल स्टेज थी, उसकी आउटरमोस्ट सेल्स होती हैं, वो उसके साथ कनेक्शन बना लेती हैं. द आउटरमोस्ट लेयर ऑफ द 16 cell, that is also called as morula, that forms a connection between the walls of uterus, and this is called implantation. And then soon a disc will form, that is called placenta, and umbilical cord will form, and inside this will surround the entire baby, and ये सब कुछ होगा. A disc will be formed, creating a junction between the maternal blood vessel with the blood vessels of embryo. धीरे धीरे वहाँ पे blood vessels बनने लग जाएंगे. ऐसा स्टेज आ जाएगा. देखिए ये प्लेसेंटल वॉल है, ये फीटस है, ठीक है। एम्ब्रियो जब जैसे ग्रो करता है तो हम इसको फीटस कहते हैं। ये अम्बिलिकल कॉर्ड हो गया, ये ब्लड विलाई है, विलाई ऑफ द मदर एंड द विलाई ऑफ चाइल्ड, ब्लड वेसल्स, दे विल गेट इंटरडिजिटेड। इंटरडिजिटेड मतलब वो अगल बगल में आ जाएगी इस तरह से, इस तरह से। दे विल नॉट जॉइन टुगेदर बिकॉज the blood group of the child and the blood group of mother not essentially same. अगर वो डिफरेंट ब्लड ग्रुप है और वो ऐसे मिक्स हो जाएंगे तो देर इज 99% चांस कि सारे बच्चे मरे हुए पैदा होते हैं। ये और कई केस के अंदर वो माँ भी मर जाती है। सो देर इज नो चांस कि दोनों ब्लड मिक्स हो जाए, दे आर जस्ट इंटरडिजिटेड। only the food and the hormone and the gases move from the mother's body to fetus, the mother's blood to fetal blood, and the waste and the carbon dioxide from the fetal blood to mother's blood, that is going through diffusion. ये ऐसे ऐसे पड़े हुए हैं तो यहाँ डिफ्यूजन हो रहा है केवल, ठीक है। and in diffusion the RBC does not move. We already studied the walls of the capillaries have minute holes which are not large enough कि उसमें से RBC बाहर निकल जाए। WBC जा सकती हैं because they got their pseudopody. Platelets also doesn't go. ऑक्सीजन जा सकता है, फूड जा सकता है, ठीक है। Soon the blood vessels develop in the form of in the embryo, and in the blood vessels of the embryo and maternal blood vessels get interdigited. This word interdigited you must remember, okay? They are not conforming connections but they are lying side by side. Exchange are made and the baby start developing. Umbilical cord is developed that will take the nourishment here और यहाँ से waste बाहर, ठीक है। अब ये प्रोसेस कब तक चलेगा? 9 महीने तक। ऑन द कंप्लीशन ऑफ जेस्टेशन विच इज अराउंड 9 months, जो करीब करीब 280 दिन का होता है, ठीक है, द एम्ब्रियो इज मैच्योर्ड एंड इनफ टू बी डिलीवर्ड। अब अगर टाइम पे डिलीवर नहीं होगा तो उसका खोपड़ा बड़ा हो जाएगा एंड देन इट विल नॉट बी एबल टू कम आउट, ठीक है। रिलैक्सिन हार्मोन इज रिलीज फ्रॉम द वॉल्स ऑफ यूट्रस। यूट्रस क्या करेंगे? रिलैक्सिन हार्मोन निकालेंगे एंड ये इंडिकेशन देते हैं कि भैया बच्चे का टाइम हो गया, ना इसको बाहर निकालो। ड्यू टू द इससे क्या है, एक और हार्मोन सीक्रेट हो रहा है फ्रॉम द पिट्यूटरी, मदर्स पिट्यूटरी, एंड दैट हार्मोन इज नॉन एज ऑक्सीटोसिन. So oxytocin and relaxins, they bring strong contraction and relaxation in the walls of uterus, and that is expelling the baby out, and the child is born. So due to the movement, the fetus is detached from the body and delivered through birth canal. Okay, so that's how the child is born and reproduction is completed in human being. So that's all. यही है रिप्रोडक्शन इन ह्यूमन बीइंग, एंड इफ़ यू लाइक दिस वीडियो गिव थम्स अप। ये तो आसान काम है, इसके पैसे थोड़े लग रहे हैं। और शेयर द वीडियो विथ अदर्स, वो आपकी मर्जी है, करो बहुत अच्छी बात है, ना करो आपकी मर्जी है, कोई ज़बरदस्ती तो कर नहीं सकता। एंड सब्सक्राइब द चैनल, ये भी आपकी मर्जी है। अगर आप करोगे तो मेरा फ़ायदा, आपका फ़ायदा, सबका फ़ायदा, आपको भी इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती रहेगी एंड मेरा भी नाम हो जाएगा, मेरे सब्सक्राइबर बढ़ रहे हैं। एंड वो जो बेल है ना, बेल आइकन, उसको भी दबा देंगे तो यू विल कीप ऑन गेटिंग द इंफॉर्मेशन द न्यू वीडियो इज अपलोडेड, एंड देन यू विल कम to know that if any video of your class is there, you can of course see it, watch it and share the video with others. Thank you. इतना तो आपका मेरे पे एहसान रहेगा, बाकी देखना नहीं देखना, करना नहीं करना आपकी मर्जी है। नीदर आई नो यू कि आप देख रहे हैं कि नहीं देख रहे हैं, नो यू नो कि मैं देख पा रहा हूँ कि नहीं देख पा रहा हूँ। वी आर नॉट एबल टू सी ईच अदर वेदर यू आर वॉचिंग माई वीडियो और नॉट वॉचिंग माई वीडियो, हु इज़ वॉचिंग, हु इज़ नॉट वॉचिंग एंड ऑल। तो अगर आप कर रहे हैं वेल एंड गुड, इफ़ नॉट मर्जी आपकी, ठीक है। अगर आप चाहते हैं कि कर देते हैं तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। इन केस ऑफ योर डाउट्स यू आर ऑलवेज वेलकम टू post your doubt in the comment section and I'll definitely answer them. ठीक है. So that's all. Thank you. Next video on reproductive health we'll be having soon.